Faith beyond Sunday. I am a firm believer that you choose your time with God. You do not go by people's schedule. Going to church is great because you get to commune with your fellow Christians under God's house. That's amazing. Okay, I'm not saying stop going to church, but it is so rigid to think that's the only time that I spend with God throughout the week. You can make God be a part of different parts of your life. You're going to the mall and you decide to yourself, I'm not going to spend on this unnecessary item. At that point, you can talk to God and say, God, I want for no more. I want to live a modest lifestyle, and I'm not going to get this item because I'm listening to you, I'm letting you guide me. That's like a religious experience that you could have at the mall. You know, I don't subscribe to the whole Sunday is God's day and then the rest of the week is whatever the rest of the week is. I obviously find it hard to believe that that's the only way to do it, because that is so soul-sucking and it takes away from your relationship with God. It keeps you thinking that this is the only time that we have our relationship. And your relationship is ongoing in every single moment. So that's something I encourage for you guys to explore and practice with, is seeing God in different moments of your life. If you are a Sunday churchgoer, that's great. But I encourage you to find those little moments in the day that have God's lessons in them. You know, like little things like you might want to eat more, and then you say, oh God, I do not want to be gluttonous. You know, please help me, Lord, to make the right decision here. You know, we have so much to draw from, and it's such a waste to only draw from God on Sunday. Yeah, I talked to God today at length, and I don't talk to God like in poetry. I know that a lot of Christians, they have prayers that are already made, and that they read verbatim while they're praying, or they memorize verbatim so that they can pray those prayers to God. For me, I talk to God as if He is my literal Father. And it's not pretty, it's not poetic, but it's respectful and it's real. And I try not to recite the same prayer, because for me, that has been, it's taken away from my prayer by reciting the same thing over and over again, because it makes me feel like I'm just repeating, I'm just regurgitating information. And that's not how I want to feel when I'm in prayer. I want to be present, actively involved. And when I speak to God, I want it to come from my heart, not from something that I memorized and don't really connect with personally. And so I've made it my mission to just speak to God with my own voice, not the voice of someone who created the prayer, but my own voice. And so that I can foster my own interpersonal relationship with Him. You really feel more active when you do this. And I encourage anyone who's watching to do this as well. But, you know, it's not to bash anybody who does recite prayers. There are times I recite prayers as well. But when it comes to the important stuff, I want to feel like I am actually using my own voice to pray to God. I pray with all my might, and I tell God everything that's on my mind, honestly. And I say, Lord, I know this is unacceptable, but I'm going to work hard for you, and I don't want you to be disappointed in me as one of your creations.